Ready?
I think so.
Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another exploration, and I'm joined once again by the lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia.
Hello, lovely Richard.
We're continuing our little look at parks, and we've decided to come not into a traditional park. We went to a country park in our last video, did we not?
Yes.
And we will go into a sort of more town Victorian-y park in another episode. But for this episode, we've come to Burgess Hill, which I think is in West Sussex, or it may be in East Sussex. It's right on the border, really, but I'll let you decide. It doesn't really matter. It's near Haywards Heath.
Someone's already decided.
Yeah, someone has. And the reason we've come here, because we've come to
Bedelands Farm.
Local
Nature Reserve.
Bit of a mouthful. Bedelands Farm Local Nature Reserve, recommended to us actually by one of our viewers, Matthew Holdsworth. And yeah, thanks Matthew. So we've come here because it's a nature reserve, and it's just on the outskirts, the north outskirts of Burgess Hill, as I say. And I think one of the important things is that since parks started to become a thing in the Victorian period, particularly as houses were being built up, people need to get out and about. And nature, of course, these days has been blighted a bit by urban sprawl. So it's so important now to have reserves.
That's right.
For nature.
That's right.
And we can expect to see some interesting things here.
Well, we can hope to.
Yes. Well, one should, I suppose.
Yes, one
so
should.
There's a dormouse.
A hazel dormouse.
That's a protected species, isn't it?
Apparently kingfishers.
Kingfishers. I think there's something like 7 meadows.
7 meadows set in ancient woodlands, basically.
That's 80 acres.
80 acres.
So we're not going to hang about out here, but I want to just point out we've started by some way markers. These are modern carved ones, and I've met these sort before in Binstead, so that's quite interesting. So let's go and have a quick look at those, and then we'll move on. So, what have we got here? We've got a map which gives us a guide of where we are, which is really nice. This has been provided by the Lions International Group at Burgess Hill. It just says, anyway, the main path crosses a big field, which I think, Julia, must be just up ahead of us.
There.
And it says here it goes diagonally across to the old farm site. Okay.
Well, the Cooper's cottage also stood nearby, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's go up into that big field and then see where that takes us. I believe right at the far end, whether we get there or not, is a waterfall. Looking forward to that.
That'd be nice.
Come on in. Oh. Well, this is an amazing field, Julia.
It is, isn't it? It's called Big Field, and it is quite big.
It's a big field. The reason we've got down low like this is there is an amazing amount of crickets and other bugs and bees and various things. They're just bouncing about. It's so hard to capture on the camera, but they are quite literally bouncing from the tips of the grass here to other tips.
And then shuffling down that tip to try and get out the way so they're not seen.
And the different colours, there's green ones and there's brown ones, and we've seen these sort of orangey bug things, and it's such a shame we can't actually manage to get the camera close to them because they just run away.
Very skittish. But it is so cool when you step off the path even slightly, and suddenly you get this scattering of these little bodies jumping out the way.
And this is full of, I suppose, these are thistles, these what colour do you call them? Purple violet
Pinky.
And there's hundreds of them, and on this low level I don't know if you can see the colour of them. They're just this whole field with the grasses. It's so beautiful, and I just think this year, more than any other year that I've known, wild flowers, grasses and these sort of things have been allowed to just grow everywhere, and there seems to be abundance of them.
It's great.
It's absolutely brilliant. So it's got to be a bumper crop for wildlife and bugs and all of that. So
One
anyway,
would hope. Needs all the help it can get.
We better get back onto our feet and stroll on.
Get the crane out then.
Come on. I'll give you a hand. Wow, what a lovely, stunning little bit of woodland gets out of that sun, because that heat actually
it's quite warm.
Was quite warm, wasn't it?
Even when it's behind the cloud, it's still quite warm.
Yeah, it's a sort of hazy day, but the sun is penetrating through, which is great for photography, but not when you're 7.5 months pregnant.
Yeah, when you're incubating.
Yeah, absolutely. So it may be that we don't get to the end because you're struggling now with the walking.
Yeah, my pelvis is weakening. So
yeah, so it's somewhere that we may have to come back to and explore the rest. However, here, what do we see in here in this wood?
We're in this lovely little bit of the ancient woodland. We've got hazel.
Yep, some hazel coppices.
We've got beech.
Beech tree is a lovely beech we're sitting on.
Is that blackthorn, I think?
Can't see.
But there's oak and holly.
And holly, of course, is a good indicator that it's an ancient wood. There's a bit of holly here. But we've seen holly in another stretch of wood just before we started filming. And it's got a great canopy, so you do get that
that shade. And
that shade.
It's amazing how much of a difference it makes.
Yes.
The temperature drop from coming out of the sunlight into the shade.
So the advice is, if you're out in the sun and you want some shade, look for a tree with a nice canopy. Yeah. So
none of these pollarded ones, they won't help.
No. So are you up for a bit further? Or?
Yes, let's see how far we can push.
Okay, how far I can push you. I'll get the whip out. Come on then. Well, Julia, we actually made it to the pond after all.
Yay!
Hey! I don't know if this particular pond or lake or whatever it's called actually has a name, but it's a beautiful thing to behold.
Very picturesque.
Isn't it? I love all the lily pads and then the yellow flowers. Are they lilies? I guess they're the lilies on the lily.
They don't look very lily-like, do they?
No. I mean, the green things are lilies, pads.
Yeah, they're lily pads.
And the flower.
White.
Yeah.
Flower come out.
So these are yellow. But hey,
sure, someone will tell us.
Yes, if you know, write it in the description. Just before here, there's a waterfall, and it's a bit precarious because there's this sort of open area, and you can sort of scramble down. You can scrabble down.
Yeah,
you can imagine
down in a ravine, isn't it?
Yeah, little ravine. You can imagine the kids coming in at the weekends, actually having a lovely time. Not so much in the winter. Perhaps it'd be a bit cold, but
slippery.
The water level is just at the moment a bit low, which is we've had a lot of hot weather recently, and I suppose that explains it. And the main waterfall area, there's not a drop. There is not a drop.
Bone dry.
But there's another one to the side which is actually just skimming the water off and taking it down. So that's nice and pleasant. And then it goes into a little stream that folds its way, who knows where.
Meanders through the place.
Yes. But it's been an absolutely fantastic walk. It's a beautiful park, a nature reserve, and
gorgeous, absolutely lovely.
Yeah. Favourite thing was the crickets.
The crickets, yeah, that was awesome. Oh my gosh, some of them were so big for crickets. You could hear them thud.
Yeah.
I heard
you
one
could
thud
actually
on a
hear.
flower.
That's right. You could hear them land on the flowers and the leaves
and
around
the
as you walked.
Stems and stuff. Yeah.
It's so noisy. And then there was the trees and everything else. So this is well worth checking in. There's lots of different access routes to get to the park. So it's not just one. So you don't have a car park cost, which is handy.
It's always good.
And you could come obviously and have a picnic and read up on the notice boards, which there is loads of them. And then these little walkways, little bridge to our left, which is very cute.
Very cute indeed.
And the weather has gone a little bit cooler now and the sun's, sort of somewhere.
It's around somewhere.
But a beautiful park to have nearby if you live in Burgess Hill. Now, if you've got a park, we want to hear from it. hear from it.
From it?
No.
From you? From
Yes,
it, maybe?
About it. Yes, that's it. I know what it means. And maybe you do.
A video log, maybe?
Yes, we're trying to encourage people to do vlogs. We have a Facebook group, Bald Explorer Facebook group. Do check it out. Links are in the description. And why not visit your park, do a little vlog, tell us all about it. It'd be absolutely fantastic. And we get all our members to like it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Enjoyed the walk?
I did.
Yes.
A little bit harder this time.
Yes,
but...
I guess with this little chappie coming, you won't be able to get out quite so often.
Yeah, it seems as though things are starting to slow down for me now.
But after August,
sadly.
once it's popped out...
Yeah, I'll be building myself back up again.
Yes.
With baby wrapped around.
So don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, become a patron, support what we do, and leave a comment. I think that's about it. Yeah. So till next time, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.